Welcome to a new Draw My Life video. It was October 31st some days ago, Halloween, date also known in some countries as the Witches' Eve. And this is so for a reason, as it is a very special night for them. The legend says witches gather together in covens twice a year, called by the devil himself, on April 30th and October 31st, date in which a new year of witchcraft is welcomed. This night, diabolical powers in witchcraft are at their highest levels. Yes, you've found it out. We're talking about witches today. Specifically about Sabrina Spellman, one of the most famous sorcerers on TV. Probably lots of you remember the charming Sabrina from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, played by Melissa Joan Hart. This series from the late 90s was a fun sitcom that told the story of a young witch, her aunts Hilda and Zelda, her boyfriend Harvey Kinkle, and her cat Salim. Well, Sabrina has come back by the hands of Netflix. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It was released this past October 26th in Netflix, and it's a lot darker than the sitcom. Even though a lot of its characters appear again, in the series we will find a world full of black magic, shadows, and hidden dangers with a touch of terror. The series tells the story of the teenager Sabrina, who, when turning 16, finds herself in a delicate moment in her life. She has to choose between the magical world or the human world, since she's half witch, half mortal. In this adaptation, Sabrina will fight to reconcile her two universes, while at the same time she fights the evil forces that threaten her, her family and friends, and all humanity. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina takes place in the same universe in which the series Riverdale is inspired. The origins of the teenage witch are also found in the comic Archie by John L. Goldwater, a series of comics that started being published in the early 40s in the US. They tell the adventures of a group of teenagers called Archie, Betty, Veronica, and Jughead, who live in the city of Riverdale. Sabrina Spellman is a secondary character in this comic. She lives in a nearby town called Greendale. A young girl of her time, brave, persistent, and honest, ready to fight for her friends. Sabrina debuted in Archie's Madhouse number 22 in October 1962. And people liked her so much that in the end she became one of the main characters in the Archie's comics. A new version, a darker one, of the comics started to be published in 2013 by the hands of Roberto Aguirre Sacasa, with a great success. In 2014, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was released, focused on Sabrina Spellman during her teenage years in the 60s. In fact, it is Aguirre Sacasa, Riverdale's creator and scriptwriter of the renewed version of the comics, the one behind this new series of Sabrina, trying to bring her back to the screen in a way that remains more faithful to her origins. In the beginning, they even thought about having Sabrina appear in the end of the first season of Riverdale, but they decided to keep it focused in real life and give Sabrina her own series. Kiernan Shipka, known thanks to her role as Sally Draper, the daughter of Don Draper in Mad Men, plays Sabrina. The role of the charming Harvey is Ross Lynch, who used to be the protagonist of the Disney Channel series Austin and Ally. Out of curiosity, we can tell you that Kiernan is allergic to cats, so she found it quite difficult to work with Salim. Truth is, Sabrina is one of our favorite witches, and we love seeing her in a creepier and scarier universe. Leave a comment if you have seen the series and if you would like to see a crossover with Riverdale. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.